Get ready for a 10-episode story arc because it's the Sergio.
Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Sergio Dominguez here with a commentary for Season 11. Wow, Season 11. Actually, very good season because it is a story arc that takes place all throughout the season. So it actually works as a whole season. A lot of good episodes, especially the last couple of parts, but we'll get to it. So, how did this come about? It all actually started with the 100th episode again, because when I was making the 100th episode, I had ideas. And one of the ideas was this really cool story arc that was big. It was just full of story, like the most ambitious story I've ever written for a milestone episode. There's even a couple of scenes based on another 100th episode that I really like so much. You know, I was just so flowing with creativity and great ideas. So that's how the season 11 came about, as a very big segment and moment for episode 100. But I was cutting too many things short. The 100th episode, which was almost a feature-length episode, ended up being cut and cut and cut. And it was, at the time, a 21-minute episode. Now it's down to, I think, 7 minutes or so. And as for what I've written, because I was storyboarding this for months, legit storyboarding this, everything else was just scripted or improvised, but this had storyboards because it had a lot of visuals. I had to follow a unique, consistent story. And I wrote so much. Obviously, I was not going to throw it away, and I wanted to keep the show going. So I had this idea, why don't I take this big video and just chop it up into little videos, see if I can split it 10 ways and have it be season 11. And I thought it's also a great way to rebrand the show a little bit. You know, what has the show really become, and what could it do after 100 episodes? Usually TV shows, animated TV shows, series, they get questionable after 100 episodes. You know, they're already a packaged series, they already have stuff established. What more can they really do past 100? And I already thought of unique, creative ways. First of all, a lot of big changes happened to the series, and one of the big reasons why is because of me and what has happened to me when I finished episode 100, when I've met that goal of making 50 episodes within that small amount of time of less than 2 years, a year and a half. So, what did I really do after that? Well, I wanted to take it easy. I still wanted to make the show, but I wanted to make it much easier, much more comfortable for me, but still with much more unique creativity. Not only that, but during production of season 11, a lot of unfortunate things happened that really changed the series forever. It really did. So, yeah. With that in mind, the series really did change. Instead of 10 minutes long, it was 5 minutes because I was just done making 10-minute long videos. I only want to make them when I do want to make them. When I've written something that was long enough to be 10 minutes and edit them when it is 10 minutes. Because whenever I made a 10-minute episode of the show, I try to make it 10 minutes. Too much filler, too much padding, too much... Yeah, of that. I was too motivated to do it, where so many episodes felt dragged out because they were, unfortunately. There's some nice hand-drawn animation for you. I tried to add more hand-drawn animation within the series. I tried my best with that. It's not easy. Not only not easy, but technique-wise. But yeah, this whole season had so much richness and story. Like the most elaborate story I've ever written so far. People did love it. I remember when it originally came out, and it uploaded in a different channel, but I'll get to it soon. Yeah, it was brief, 5 minutes or so, but it still worked. And it's already in setup, but you can tell this was a big story chopped up into 5 pieces. Not like, oh, it's concluded, but what will happen next? The writer will tell you in that moment. No, it knew, and it just cut to pieces. But because I was also still making some time and doing some unique things, I like this. I like that part. That was new, but I never brought back up of the whole me, just actual live action me talking about piece by piece. but I thought it would be unique to do split screen right here. And this came from, I don't know what this actually came from, but I think it was talking through a webcam, and I put this in. But I thought it would be a fun idea to do something unique with the credits and make it more like a internet video kind of thing. So alright, next episode. Yeah, this is a continuing story. I still have some things to talk about the historical significance of season 11. So, when episode 100 came out in late 2013, it got a lot of views the first days that it came out, like over 1,000 views, which is a lot for me in my my channel. But 6 months later, by May, I told everybody, "Yay, this has this many views, cool." All of a sudden, when May started and I talked about this episode, from the beginning of May to the 7th or 8th day of May, so many views came out of nowhere. They were flowing in like crazy. It was like the first time I ever saw like this kind of video get so many views, episode 100. So much attention, so much attention. A lot of comments. A lot of them were mean. Almost all of them were mean. Every comment was something about, my mental health. I don't know where they get these things easy. These sorry sons of people. So insecure. Yeah, I got a lot of those comments. You fools! No fools. Or are you? But either way, a lot of views came in within just a week. It really grew my channel, the views. Then by like the 8th day, this email I got telling me copyright reasons, an episode got copyright marked. I told you earlier what episode it was. Take that down. Not only that, but anything else that can get you in this kind of trouble. Which was every episode 100. Which was all 100 episodes. The first 100 episodes were gone. I personally had to take them down within minutes. It happened like May 7th, 2014. Going from a series and a channel that existed, had fans, had views, then personally having to take them down in a day, losing it all, was unbelievable. Shocking, depressing. I was like, everything I did in the first 6 years, I had to take it out, along with other videos I've made. It was insane. This series I made for 6 years, I had to take it out. I've made like 3 videos talking about this. An update video, I think maybe another update video, and a special video about this. I've said this so many times, and now I'm saying it again in audio commentary. That's some hand-drawn animation. But, yeah, it still hurts. It still hurts very badly, but as of this recording, I've picked up the pieces. The episodes came back in a more efficient way. Not the best way, but an efficient way. I still get people wondering what happened to it. Still. So, that was a big impact for me. Big impact for the series, of course. And I made the decision to just take out the original episodes. And I still had to acknowledge that episodes of the show exist, so I had to quickly make these little edits, which was just the introduction of the show, a graphic saying, can't show it, copyright reasons, and credits. That was that times 100 for, not the original channel. Originally, the first 100 episodes in their original form were uploaded in what at the time was called the Cartoonist Man channel. But I decided at that point, since the show has become such a big thing, it deserved its very own channel, the Sergio Show channel. So I uploaded those badly edited version of the episodes to the Sergio Show channel, which was also a big mistake. Not a big mistake, but I knew this was going to be very difficult because everybody's subscribed and want to be part of the original channel where the episodes came out. But I'm like, no, I don't want to get in trouble with this channel again, but I still love this channel and originated from it. But the show needed its own channel. it is its own thing at this point. So I thought having its own channel, the Sergio Show channel, necessary move, very necessary, but the result wasn't that good because I was missing views. Views for season 11 actually were very good because of the story arc, and I was hyping the show back. The hiatus and the drama behind it was working, but the following season, which I'll get to soon in the next commentary, was, oh god, the views were low. Very low. Lower than ever. It was like back to episode 4, but even lower. But I'll get to it. But yeah, one of the changes happened to the show. Yeah, I changed the set, but the set would change in the next season. And I love the story arc, and I love Evil Sergio. Evil Sergio came about when I wanted the Sergio character to have an antagonist, especially for its milestone. And what did I think of? At first it was going to be my little sister being the antagonists. But, no, I didn't. My sister Lydia, she was originally going to be the villain of the show. That hand-drawn animation was nice. I love that he was in shock previously, and now he's in shock now. And I love that. Yeah, that was some fun hand-drawn animation. It was limited. You can see some repetition. But this kind of technique you would see later on in a future episode. Yep. And then you cut to Puppet Me. I love animating on Puppet Me because I get results and I get to animate quicker. Even though people love the hand-drawn work. Either because it takes a lot of time to make. And they like to see me just spend a lot of time. The longer I take, the more people get to enjoy not getting a new cartoon from me. Which is obviously very trollish and mean, but that's the internet for you. But, no, I want to keep the show going the way I want. You have an animated show about yourself, you make it by yourself. You get to have that freedom.
Okay, that's fine. I got it all under control. We'll just go to my time travel room and I'll travel to
Okay, I'm looking at something. The reason why I just paused and look. Let's see. Oh yeah, this was the first season where I worked on the mouth animation because the mouth animation I wanted there to be more mouth poses and I wanted them to move more accurately. So there are moments where I chose what frames. First, it would still run through Toon Boom. You know, click a couple buttons, and then the mouth animation would be done, but it wouldn't be done accurately. So I would look over that animation that Toon Boom made and pick a couple of frames that I wanted different poses and different and little sound. You know what I'm saying? So that's Evil Sergio traveling through time. I think this is one of the last times I did time travel. Maybe I'll bring it back. We'll see. I do like the funny faces here. And Juan's poses here, the animation of it. Oh god, I'm really glad Juan and Neil gave me the recordings because I had to send them the script, which was already a heavily completed script. Since this was going to be on episode 100, they were going to have voice work in episode 100. They were going to be part of episode 100, but they had to be pushed to this. So they had only visual cameos in episode 100, playing instruments. You know, have a visual cameo, but, you know, it's supposed to be more. And also, because it was first for episode 100, but pushed to its own season in pieces, there were some lines and some scenes I cut or rewrote and re-recorded to make it its own thing, and not be, because this is the 100th episode, we're dealing with this. I do like the scene where they're making this. Nice little montage. Montages are always fun, are always so fun. Yep, nice electrocution gag. Yeah, I saved all the drawings and like assets to the time machines and all that stuff. Yep, getting hurt, flamethrower, good one. But Juanio did a good job performing this, and there's one scene later that's hilarious that I always wanted to make for a while. But yeah, so they have a part in season 11, and I'm glad they're together helping me with this. Thank you for the help both behind the scenes with sending the recordings and even on screen right here with me. Helping me save the show. But I did like the idea of Evil Sergio trying to destroy the Sergio show because the first part of the episode, of this big episode, was it's supposed to be a dedication to the first episode. That's why it's like, why is he going back to the first episode as an occasion? That's why it feels like this should have been for episode 100, but I had to edit it to be for something else, for its own season. You know? But it has a nice, like, symbolism maybe to it, a lot deeper meaning, I guess. So, it worked. Not bad. So every episode is good to a point, just because it's following a story. You know? Because the whole season is good because it's all one big story. Any episode could be a good episode, depends on your favorite scene and moment. You know? For a series like this. But yeah, originally my sister was going to be the villain of the show, but Lydia, but at this point she left the series all the way back in episode 16, so no, she couldn't come back. So I had to think of a completely different villain that I can get benefit from it. I did love the flashback to this. I did love it. Oh, I love that effect. Yeah, it was trying to show that evil Sergio appeared from the background, and it turns out between filming, evil Sergio was trying to stop the show from being made. So it's funny how I comically rewrote history saying, yes, the first episode existed, but in between, through Sergio's evil magic, he tried to cancel his own show before he made it. But it still happened anyway. And I did like how he cut to that. That's why it has a weird link to, you know, the first minute of episode 100 of that prequel. It's funny to cut to, you know, full screen to widescreen. And I also, you know, did the animation for the 2008 Sergio, the old Sergio. And I haven't lost my roots. I went back home. That's why it's still, when you look at the animation of original Sergio, it looks like 2008 Sergio. But then again, current Sergio still animates like that. But at the time when I was animating the show, I didn't figure out the software that much, and I didn't know animation that much. So that's why it looks so off, you know? I still was figuring it out, even to this day. But I figure out more of the software than ever. So I had 5 years of knowledge going back to this episode, and to reanimating certain parts of the first episode. Especially when this was like a mid-quill. This is like a mid-quill to the first episode or something. But yeah, it looks believable that this was he was moving like he was from 2008. Well, 2013-14 Sergio was just evil and trying to stop me. This is a good idea. This is a good idea. It would have been much better if this was episode 100 with 5 years to its name instead of 6, but still works. Very unique episode, very creative episode. And this is me taking advantage of now that the show has history. And that's the thing with long-running animated shows too. Now that they've established and made great episodes, and everybody knows what the show is, and the people who made the show know what the show is, and they have experience that they've made experience, they now get to, you know, play with that experience. That's a controversial thing because that means, oh, they're running out of ideas, they're only playing with their own well, and they're just being a dead horse dry, and that whole excitement of what this new show at the time is just doing, but it's just hurting itself. I like it. It's nostalgic, and there's still creativity behind it, and you can still have time to make more outrageous episodes. But it's tough. It is lightning in a bottle. But I liked how this episode came out. I liked how the whole season came out. One unique problem I had, though. One pretty unique problem. And that was I coughed. No. The one unique problem, I love this, how exciting this is. Even though this is a time machine, you think it would get there sooner, but it's a broken time machine, so what can you really do? So, the big problem I had with the season, production-wise, was the music. Like, since copyright reasons, I can't use pre-existing music, even the ones that are fair to use. I wanted to be careful and be more on my toes. After what just happened to me and to the series, I was like on my toes, looking behind my shoulder, second, third, fourth, fifth guessing every decision I made creatively to be really sure some details and stuff. Even I had to be careful with music. So I was like, okay, can't use music. I gotta make my own. That's the only decision to make everything more creative. If the animation's mine, and if a certain production is still mine, then music has to be mine. So I had to make my own music. How? At the time, I didn't have music making software. It wasn't until either the year after this, season 12 or so, I finally got music making software and started making my own music. Yeah. It was season 12, where I was like, okay, I have my own music making software, I can make it. So yeah, this season had some hand-drawn animation moments, but let me get back to the music. Yeah, so music-wise, so I had a little tablet, and this little tablet I can download music. Oh, I like this shot. It was the thing in the perspective. Yeah, I got distracted, but let me get back to this real quick. So I had to make my own music by getting an app, a couple of music, not music making, but instrument apps. Record off of it from a microphone, either microphone or recording device, and just play off of that. And it came out really just awkward, because you can tell it's like something recorded off of something, and the music is not good because I don't know how to make music. I still don't. Even when I had music making software, I was like, what key do I press? How can I make this sound more rhythmically professional, entertaining? I'm still figuring it out. It's like all over again with software, like I did with animation, but with music. You know, it was like how I treated my first experience with animation and software. But I liked the conversation between. But yeah, when it came to music, I had to figure that out, and it came off. But it improved later on, season 12 onward. But it still had some flaws. But oh, I love this. I love between like 2014 Sergio and 2008 Sergio. Oh, this was episode 100. It would have been so sweet, so like heartfelt. It still is. But having it, 5 years old and 100 episodes would make it all the more sweeter. There's a lot of hand-drawn animation moments. Limited, still stiff, but charming nonetheless. Charming nonetheless. Yeah, when I do recordings for the show, I do make mistakes with words. Words, I make those kinds of mistakes often. Repeating myself and stuff, because I know there's a better take. People can listen to me better if I repeat it with a better performance, if I can really set it in. But this is a very emotional speech. I liked it. You can also see the design comparisons. His head is much sleeker and rounder, a lot cleaner. Yeah, like the spikes down are very off in the original one. I did not draw that. I just try to draw with my right hand, even though I'm left-handed. The moments where I meet myself are fun. There's another episode later on where I meet myself. And you see, so there was a deleted scene in the first episode of the show where I meet an evil version of myself, don't know it, and then I get a nice sweet speech of how I kept going. Oh, this one was fun. This scene was fun. It was fun and funny because I'm like, there should be a confusing moment where it's like, how did evil Sergio make it when he was knocked out? And you get to figure out in the next episode. At the time, you have to wait 1 week for that. So I loved it. I love that idea where it's like, he was knocked out, but wait, he's back and he's evil again, and he's continuing his plan. What? I love there was a moment where like, what are you talking about? What does this mean? And you get to find out in the next episode. I love that. It was very elaborate, very creative storytelling. But yeah, this was a good episode. Even just as a part is sweet. I stopped evil for a moment. There's still more story to go. Even if you thought it was conclusive, it still had a lot to do, a lot to go, and even more interesting things happened in the series. This really was an episode for the show and for the fans. Very special and sweet. I do love the previously on the Sergio show and the to be continued. Always misspelling it and setting it up like that. Previously on the Sergio show. Oh, I love that shot where Evil Sergio was like, do it now. Because I love the way Evil Sergio was designed. Yeah, I love the fire shirt. It's based on a fire shirt that I used to have. It was cool when I was a kid. Lost it, but I always loved that design. And I wanted the eyes to be uniquely evil, so I had a gradient of different dark colors. And I love at the middle it's a black. And it only shows when Evil Sergio's eyes move. Oh, I love this. He's like figuring it out, not knowing that Evil Sergio is awake and ready to continue his plan. Oh, nice and dramatic. Oh, wait, I made it too. Yes, I do know that because I wrote this, but you know that. Oh, but I like the background. I think the background was a mix of previous time travel destinations, and some of them I think I redrew. But I do like how Evil Sergio has another trick up his sleeve. Yeah, very good. Very good. A lot more to offer. Very good. It's just that music. Hold on.
Anyway, gotta get off your time machine because it's breaking so far to the point where it's gonna pass.
Yeah, the audio recording is still bad because it's being recorded off of a device that kept making noise. So it was like one of the last times I used the recording device. I ended up retiring it and just getting a really good microphone, which you are listening to right now. Well, another new microphone. I love this scene. And why is it so loud? But I think it's because I had it through an echo machine. I had an not animation, but editing software, and you can play with the audio. The audio you can play with is what can you play with the audio? Echoes, because this had to take place in a cavernous area, so that's why it's like echoey. The mouth animation is very good. Yeah, looking over the mouth animation was a good idea. So you can see more clenched teeth in the right syllables. The mouth is more expressive, so it works really good. And also, I think I started changing the angry eyes. I don't know if it was this episode or another episode, where his angry eyes are eyelids. It used to be eyebrows, but because it was too close to the hair, you can barely see it. It was hard to see, so I ended up having it on the eyelids. Eyelid angry eyes. So I like how cryptic this is. No one figured it out. I was hoping someone online would be like, freeze frame. Wait, what? Or like, yeah, like there's a nice little clue. Is the clue real? Is the clue possible? I don't know.
Yeah, I made it. Even when a time machine
Nobody knows.
through some technical reason that
I don't even know.
explain right now.
But
yeah.
yeah. Season 11 really helped me with the rest of the series. Whose fan art is that? Oh my gosh, it's yours, whoever's on the wall. I wanted this to be a good tribute to the fans, too. I wanted the fans' artwork to have a participation in it. Because they helped me motivate the series, inspire the series, and I want their fan participation to be part of it. In a simple way, in a narrative way. And yeah, no, why it looks like that. I wrote that, but I think it's how it was from the writing tablet. But yep, the fans of the Sergio show actually helped Sergio with something. That's awesome. I love that idea. And you get to see more of the idea next episode. Yeah, this really is supposed to be a big, beautiful thank you and love you to the fans. The milestone episode, and this episode, and this whole season. Very nice, very beautiful. And it gets more creative after that. It is very done, like the shots and cuts, very, very lovely, very good, very, very good. I'm just amazed at this whole season. But I knew this was an ambitious episode. It was movie-like. I wanted it to be more like a movie because I feel like I've done shorts, I've done episodes, a lot of episodes. I gotta, push myself to bigger things. And while I was getting ready to push myself to bigger things, I was knocked back down to just reworking the smaller things. Frustrating, but you know what? Learn. I live and learn, especially with what I love doing, which is cartoons, video making. People who do this understand that, who are inspiring, upcoming, who have succeeded. Oh yeah, here it goes. Yeah, there was an editing mistake. I had to set up the fan art in a photo editing software to set up the perspective, but I made a mistake with a set of fan art. So that's why I think there's a flicker and an editing cut. Yeah, there was a mistake with that. I didn't either notice or I was too quick to fix because this was still under a deadline. When the show got hurt really bad, I was like, I cannot quit. Why? Because I just started working on season 11 when this happened to me. When the first 100 episodes got hurt, with that moment I got, that note, and I had to take away all the episodes of the show, I couldn't quit. That was never my option. Doing this was fun. In some ways, my destiny. I don't know. I'm probably being full of myself when I say that, but I just believed in it. I believed in this. Not only that, but logistically I couldn't quit because I was also starting to work on season 11, and it was a good season. I knew this was a great set of episodes I was working on, and this was part of something big that I want to continue. So giving up was never an option. I only thought about giving up to only not give up. Like, oh no, I got a strike. Don't give up. Giving up, no. With everything you have established, don't even. So it was a big challenge. That's a good animation of me trying to get in. I remember I was like, there needs to be a shot of me getting in. I storyboarded that. I was like, how do I get in? But that was cute. That was a nice effect. But I would never redo that shot of him going back inside. Because everybody knows. Once you know it once, you don't need to really see him do it. It's just time saver, and you just know once. Cute shot. Very cute shot. The fan art's so cute. I love the fan art. I want it to be like symbolic, or it has to be symbolic, like it's fueling me. Maybe I am being full of myself, or pretentious, but I love what I was doing, and I felt like I was doing more unique, creative things with the show that I haven't really done before, but I wanted to do, and I felt like, all right, this is inspirational. This is motivational. The fan art is doing that. Look at that. I love this. This is hand-drawn animation, and this was just like magical swirl, and I only had to do it once and just copy it, and it had to be that because I cannot make it each unique because it's time-consuming. I'm on a deadline. I wanted to come out as soon as possible. A lot of the fan art was beautiful. Very well done. Look at that. I love it all. It's so beautiful. The music behind it is actually not that good. But this was me, that's what I told you before. The music was done with just like an app of instruments, and then me playing the instruments over a microphone, recording it, and I was just editing it with this new editing software I finally heard of. This existed while I was working on the show, but I never really heard of it until 5 years later. Wow, that's a good shot. It's just repetitive over each other, laying it over each other, but it came out good. Really good. Oh, wow. That's so beautiful. Yeah, sound effects wise, I think I took like a little metal ball inside of like a ceramic cup, just like spun it around and made like a little ringing sound and recorded off of it. Beautiful. When this was uploaded, I think you can see the comment, I don't know, but they said it looks like something from an anime, I was like, yeah, it wasn't inspired by some anime, but it needed to be visual, it needed to be beautiful, it needed to have some hidden like meaning behind it. Fans inspire me, they fuel me, motivate me, and this to keep going. There's great meaning to this. I know I'm being so full of myself, but I'm really happy after a couple of unfortunate episodes and what I'm dealing with. It's just, this is so good. Very good. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about this season, because I know a lot of people loved it. It really was, it really did help me continue the show. Very good. Very good. So I had to make like 10 little introductions, 10 to be continued, 10 previous before, all because in a way to split the whole big chunk into little chunks. And it worked because if I didn't do that and I didn't do that big episode as a season, I didn't know how it could continue because I was like, all right, I can't do this, can't do this, can't do this. I can't review, I can't song parody, I can barely time travel, and I think I couldn't do like one extra thing. Oh, that's so cool. That is so nice. Visually beautiful while simplistic. Thank you for all the people who made the fan art for that moment because it worked. Look at that. And I loved how it was like a big white light. Only to see the introduction of the show, but then you're like, what's going on? Why is Evil Sergio like that? Oh, you zoom out and you figure out what's going on. I love this. This was good. I love how people had to like be like, what first? And then when everything starts coming out soon, you like figure it out and put the pieces together. I love that. Sometimes I do like that in storytelling. It's like, why is it like this? And when you get to the answer in a very, very fun visual way, it comes out great, especially in animation. You do wonder why is Evil Sergio like up close? He's doing his own like version of the show. Oh, here comes another great scene that I love. Now look, I love my friends. They're my buddies. They're great. They're great, and I don't want to hurt them. That's not me, and that's not my character. On the other hand, we're dealing with Evil Sergio here, and one of the things that has to be a little bit evil is that he has anger problems. Evil characters have anger problems, of course. They don't want to hear what they don't like. Wait a minute, they don't want to hear what they don't like? Yeah. And I liked how he has a backup plan, because he needed to have a backup plan, because if the show keeps going, then fine, have it your way. It will continue now, and now the whole town that takes place in the show will be destroyed. So the show will have to end in the past before it get made, or have it be made, and it'll be unfortunate at that moment of now. This is a good scene. They're both like cursing him out or just like talking down to him, and he's getting mad. And that's some hand-drawn animation, but it's like done cheaply in cycles, and I love their performance. Oh, love this. Oh, beautiful. And I love how it's a comical moment because it's based on something, a classic comedy trio. And that's what I wanted to do. I always wanted to do that joke. But, to do that, Sergio would have to hit him. I would have to hit him. And I don't want to do that. But Evil Sergio will for that motivation of anger. And that was good. That was good. I even did some hand-drawn animation with the head and the heads of Juan and Neil, because they had to go like, oh, ow, nya, nya. I mean, nya, 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 no way. You understand? Oh, that's a good shot pointing forward. I was like, how am I going to do that? That's some perspective. That's good. Wow, that's amazing. Like, this has aged well after only, look, I'm here 4 or 5 years. It was good. I love Evil Sergio has a cliche going on, because it is cliche. Even I'm not happy about it, but if you're going to keep the show going, then so be it. Be in trouble now then. If you're not going to prevent it, then you're causing it. And it's like there's something beautiful about that. Something very beautiful. This is I love this joke. It's like, I still have my time to oh crud. That I had to fix that. I had to fix that because if he could time travel, then nothing can stop him. So I was like, okay, just for one purpose, quickly shoot him. And it's kind of funny, ironic, and a big plot hole, because that's the only time he has good aim. Only time he has good aim. Darn it. One of the few moments he has good aim. The next one coming up is good. Now, I do want to bring up another thing, and that's the background. The background, as you can see, especially the corners and edges, very pixelated. Because I've said this before earlier. The backgrounds have too many layers to it, and with already the characters animated, it's too much for the software and the computer to handle. So it had to be all like one simple digital picture. But because it had to be stretched out, it came out too pixelated in corners and edges. So it's very noticeable. Ultimately, it doesn't matter because you just need to focus on the characters. And this was the first time I do a different, have an animated day. You weren't supposed to see that graphic, darn it. You weren't supposed to see that. I was still trying to deal with converting some things, but you guys know that. I've told that in an earlier season. Trying to convert these to proper software. Oh, I love that joke. I love the sound effects and the animation of that. Now we're getting to a very beautiful moment, the fight scene. The fight scene is based on a fight scene on a 100th episode, which could have been part of the 100th episode, what pushed to season 11, I already said that. But this is part of a really big, elaborate fight scene. It was going to be more than that. Originally, Evil Sergio had a team of evil villains, but they were all previously existing cartoon villains. And for reasons, I couldn't do that. So I just made it a simple Sergio versus Evil Sergio. And he needed to have a weapon suit, because what else can he do to defeat him if he has some powers? But I hinted at the epic animation suit in one special episode, if you can find it. The fight scene. The reason why it also looks quick-paced and moves like that, it's because all the episodes of the show run on 12 frames per second. But for the fight scene, I want it to be quick and dramatic and energetic. So that was done in 24 frames per second. That fight scene, it was storyboarded, definitely. And it was drawn with like stick figures. But, oh god, it looks good. Oh, yeah. Really nice fight scene. Not like the most epic of them, because it is just like two puppets flying around. But, oh, it's really nice. Oh, that's cool. I'm revisiting this after a couple of years. Oh, cool. They're both quick on their reflexes, but Evil Sergio has the advantage. Oh, this one's good. Love this joke. Love this joke. It's almost like I'm arguing with myself over the existence of this show and my motivations. It is so good. I know I'm just like being pretentious and full of myself, but I love this. I'm enjoying this. I love this part. This is my answer to this one character's face. The background... Oh, wait, hold on. The background music is god-awful. Oh, I love that face. A lot of good poses and drawings in this. The background music is god-awful. Again, I just made it from a tablet, playing off of a microphone, recording it, and I had to edit it that way. It came off awful. The following year, 2015, I got, music making software. But even then, I had to learn from there and be like, how can I make good music out of this software? It was like animation. The animation software. You see? The fight took long, but there was no gore. I like cartoon gore, but I don't want to do it that much.
You know that thing I told you can't do with your hat in the
I know. There was a plot hole of that. If I made Juan do that, then why didn't I do that in the first place? Because I wanted the fight scene, but I tried to fix that plot hole because, why didn't Juan do that in the first place? So you can save the fighting time and that and be quicker. But no, this had to be Evil Sergio versus Sergio. And, I like Neil's amazement. Oh. Yeah, so, that was good. Very good. That was a convenient explosion that didn't explode the bomb either. Wow. Genius. So.
We're running out of time. What are we going to do?
Yeah, now we'll try to edit that recording.
The thrilling conclusion coming soon to an internet near you.
Very good episode. This is also one of my favorites. If I have to pick them in pieces, episode 3 or 4 were good. Episode 9 is very good. Episode 10 is the weakest one only because it's just conclusion. It's just like quick, speedy conclusion. It's like, okay, we got to wrap everything up. The most action-packed part was episode 9. 109. 109. Wow. So, good series. Good season. The show was really developing after episode 100. Episode 100 onward were some of the best work. I really knew what I was doing, and finally learning from my mistakes, trying new things, really being comfortable with what I'm making. Love that line. Sergio Smackdown.
What are we going to do?
And now, the kind of thrilling conclusion.
Well, I guess I have no choice.
I love this joke. I gotta sacrifice myself. No, just kidding.
Say what?
One's reaction's like, say what? Adam do one line like that. But then I just wanted to animate it funny. Yeah, I had to fix that because it's like, okay, what am I going to really do with the bomb? But it has to be quick and simple.
Arm to a high-pressure air cannon. And, yeah.
The arm animation looked
That
cute.
much pressure should do it.
Yeah, I also had to fix that plot. I was like, he got a ceiling window that looked like that? Yeah, I had to quickly make a line that fixed that. Be like, okay, he did. Because there were some decisions even that I had to fix plot holes and like, what?
Specifically hidden ceiling window installed a month ago.
Alright, well, that was a piece of tape that was fixed. That was a moment fixed with tape. Good shot. I always wanted a nice wide shot of Sergio Studios in Toon City. I love that shot. Good shot. Looks a little off because of the road pavement and asphalt. But still good. Oh, I love that. He was trying to get up, try to get away, but no.
Let me see if this thing works this time.
I like that it's a pencil sharpener cannon. Oh, good. That was a well-drawn pencil sharpener cannon.
Any last cheese?
I forgot to bring that back, honestly. But there were other ways to take down evil Sergio, but you'll find out later on. But he did like die from like pieces. He either died in pieces or really it just shut his body down. It like you had to kill him in a way where he was like solid enough because I wanted to put him in the wood chipper. I wanted to put him in the wood chipper to really be sure that he was dead, and it was a callback. It was a callback to an episode where I used the wood chipper to really be sure he won't come back. Even though he will come back, I end up realizing I want to bring him back, but I'll bring that back later. I love the iced tea drinking moment. After everything he's been through, he needs a nice can of iced tea.
You came, kicked some serious ass, and became a hero, man.
Neil said ass. That's inappropriate. I'm just joking.
I really appreciate it. Thank you. But you know, I really couldn't do it without the help.
Very good season. It ended very well. And I thought this was going to be the end of Evil Sergio, but turns out it wasn't. I love this joke. I was like, yeah, I did take care of that. Woodchipper! And also prop room. There's a reference to the prop room of everything that was established in the show. And that prop room would keep going. So I'm so happy for it. I love this scene too. Juan is a comic book fan. And Juan wants me to be a superhero because I was like a superhero-like suit. But he's like, no, you know what? It's alright. Oh yeah, the thing was, I remember when this episode came out, Juan was like, you know, I should have recorded it differently because yeah, the performance was off. Because I try to give him the right performance where he's supposed to be more calm, but here he sounds uptight, but he's supposed to sound genuine. Like, okay, Serge, whatever you want. He's like, okay, Serge, whatever you want. Yeah, that should have been better, but that's still a good performance. Not the right emotion I wanted, but still great season, amazing season. Looking back, it has aged so well. I thought it would be awkward. But no, very well done. Just the music was the worst part. Story-wise, it was good. You gotta let me know in the comments down below, if you want to, of your thoughts on Season 11. I hope you guys like it. End up being part of an even bigger story later on, but we'll get to it when we get to it. Thank you for watching Season 11 of the Sergio Show Commentary. I am Sergio Dominguez, saying, have an animated day. I do like those moments in the credits, but I stopped with that. Just let it be regular credits. It was fun for the season. Thank you. Bye. Have an animated day.